Hi guys, now live. Webinar Jam changed their platform this morning, so I am just going to give everyone a good 5 or 10 minutes to get in. I'm so sorry. Google Hangout made an update recently, so now, which is what this platform's played through. And so I couldn't figure it out until the webinar started, whether it was going to work at all or whether it was just waiting for the correct time. Unfortunately, it wasn't just waiting for the correct time, it was actually broken, which is so annoying. Anyway, I was so early, sitting here ready to go. Okay, so we're going to give everyone 5 to 10 minutes. I'll answer questions of the people that are in here. I know that we're just having slowly people registering, so we've only got a few people at the moment in this webinar. So welcome, girlies. Sorry. We're going to get to work. We're going to be able to keep moving through, but I will just interrupt a few times for those that have just joined us again. Welcome, guys. Come on in. You're all coming in now. Good. I'm glad you found the link. I was just madly trying to send everyone out an email and update the portal and put it in the Facebook group so you've got it everywhere you might be looking. You might have actually been able to get into the webinar. You probably could. I just couldn't as a presenter. The presenter platform was broken. They've relaunched their own platform that doesn't rely on Google. It's not working so well. Because it wouldn't let me in. Just kept on refreshing the screen, which is great. But welcome. I'm going to start answering questions. Thanks for your patience. Let's get to work. Questions in the right-hand chat box. Those that have just joined me, I will interrupt a few more times for the guys that are, as they're coming in, that might be a little bit confused, particularly if it's their first office hours and I've just gone and changed the link on them. But for those that are in here, questions in the right-hand chat box, pop them in. Hi guys. Hi Anna. Hi everyone. I'll answer them from first question through to last question, so in order. So enter yours in now if you do have a question. I know that some people just join me in office hours because they want to listen to other people's questions, which is also fine. And it's not a thing that you have to stay for the whole 2 hours. You can ask your question and head off, or you can stay around if you'd like. Everything is recorded, so don't worry if your internet connection is slow or drops out. It's all recorded regardless and put in the portal within 48 or within 2 business days. What else do you need to know? Your questions are private, so I can see your question, but no one else can, so you don't have to worry about asking silly questions. And if you have sent me a question in the portal through the form, please let me know that. Don't wait till the end. Pop it in there in the chat box with your email address. Just say, hey, Grace, I sent you something through the portal with your email, just in case we've got someone else with your name, which often happens. And I'll be able to jump in and answer that question in order as well. So I'm going to get started. For those that have just joined me, welcome. Oh, good. You're all starting to come in. Good. Sorry. Unfortunately, Webinar Jam set, like they basically used to use Google Hangout, and in April 1st, it's the first webinar that I've done this month. On April 1st, they decided that they built their own platform and they were going to move everyone across into their own platform. And I just tried to log into their own platform about 15 minutes ago and was waiting, hoping it would kick in at 9:30 my time. It's just 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but it just didn't kick in. So then I was like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? I'm trying to quickly build something in their old platform and pop it onto Facebook, send out an email to everyone and put it in the tell the girls for the emails requests we'll have coming in. Where's the other place? I'm putting it in the portal for you. I'm glad you've been able to find the link on whatever platform you've quickly checked around for. The best place, if something happens with a link and you can't seem to get in, the best place is always just to email us and someone is checking that inbox during office hours live, and also a quick Facebook message will usually get the problem sorted. But I think I beat you to it hopefully this time. Okay, let's get to work. Candice, your question was first. Yes, I did have an amazing weekend. Thanks, Candice. No, that's a lie. I didn't have an amazing weekend. I filmed 54 videos. But they're done and they were good. Okay, you ready? 54, that's ridiculous. Get a life, Grace. I don't normally do that. I normally work 4 days a week and 3 to 4. And last week I worked 6. But my day off, I went horse riding. They say I'm a natural, but I think it's just because they want me to sign up for the 10 lesson package, which I did because I'm a natural. Okay, you ready? I could chat all day. So, P.S., welcome to those that are in here for the first time. This is going to be fun in a marketing nerdy kind of way. So Candice is drafting out her first lead magnet for her consult funnel. So, yeah, she's taken one inspiration from one of mine to get the creative juices flowing. Would love to, cool. Would love to get your feedback on the attach and if you think this would work for my funnel. Super excited about the Facebook workshop. Awesome, me too. So PS, for those that might have seen it popping up or flying around, there's a Facebook workshop this Saturday. The one this Saturday is just kind of what's already in your training. So most of you have probably already watched it and kind of done it. It's a lot of that sort of stuff that Adam and I do in that Facebook training. So it's more of a beginner's Facebook week workshop. Your workshop is happening on which is an advanced how to scale. If you start to see little results that are starting to be, you know, the kinds of things you want to see, how do you then take those and make them amazing results? And how do you improve that funnel and make it better, and that kind of whole testing stage, and some more tips around retargeting and things like that. Yours is on the 6th of May. So that's a members only one, and it's advanced Facebook intensive. It's 4 hours, 6th of May Australian time, 5th of May US time. You'll get all the details in your inbox next week. So sit pretty and just chill for now, but you get all the details of that, which is very exciting. So Candace's lead magnet. Yeah, I think this works. Yeah, I think this works. Could we, I like this. You know what I would take the time to do so that I add massive value and just give so I can't help but give back. I would, so she's got a like a 5-step plan for people to achieve this kind of end goal they're wanting to achieve, and she's got a really good visual diagram of the look and feel. I would probably, in your case, just take it one step further and put each of those on their own page afterwards, after that like kind of overview, put each of those on their own page as a almost as a worksheet. And ask like 3 questions on each page with some lines underneath so they can actually complete it. So they feel like they've actually achieved things and they're moving forward. So let's, hold on, I'm just going to quit my Skype so my team don't message me. Let's break that out a bit more. I just feel like we could give them more value. It's still too brief right now for a lead magnet. I want to kind of flesh it out. I can see lots of similarities to mine, but in your case, just because of the relative vagueness of the elements, let's just go a little bit more specific as to how they can actually apply this and actually get results from these kinds of things that you're sharing. So avatar, so it says, the first one's avatar, know your ideal client, what they want, their pain points, strengths, side outcomes, fears and challenges. So have a page below that where it's like, okay, describe take an ideal client in your community, keep them in mind and describe everything about them. What's their age, their gender, blah, blah, and let them fill out that. What keeps those guys up at night, and the biggest pain points you hear from them in your conversations. Next, you know, that kind of stuff. Just flesh it out a little bit more and you'll be good to go. And I think that, like, it's got to relate. I don't know if that relates, though, to your... I don't think knowing the avatar will necessarily help them escape from their office. That's the thing. I don't know if that directly relates. I feel like, and then how we link that back to you and what your service offering is, which is around more template, admin, that side of things. So if I were you, this is almost more marketing strategy. So now I'd expect you to sell me something that's got more of a marketing strategy in terms of what the content is. I don't know how you're going to pitch this, but in terms of the content, it's dealing more with marketing strategy. Whereas if you're wanting to sell your consulting and your programs and stuff, you're probably coming from an attitude of chaos in the office and how do we bring all of this back under control. And in that case, I think more practical steps rather than marketing steps would be ones they would need to take, maybe. That's what I would definitely do in your space. So I'd be looking at, like, systems make sense. I'd be looking at inbox management, which is a massive time sucker for people. I'd be looking at the space that they're working in. I'd be looking at meetings and other things that could be construing on their time. I'd be looking at, I'd probably break systems out into 3 different parts in the different, you know, whether it's the bookkeeping and the admin side of systems, and then whether it's the marketing and the email management side of, and, you know, kind of showing them how we can start to match those up. And then at the end of the, because you're kind of telling them what to do, right? But people are still going to struggle because they're trapped in this daily office grind. And so I think the best thing to do is give them some solutions. And then at the end, it's an obvious next step. Hey, do you want me to help you put all of this into place? Because I've got a free private consult that I'd like to offer you, you know, to map out what this looks like in your business, blah, blah, blah. So it's okay to don't hold too much back with your lead magnets. It's okay to give heaps in the knowledge that most people are going to want you to then do it for them. Not necessarily that, oh, now I'm so empowered that thanks so much, but I'm going to head off and do this on my own. That very rarely happens. And if that does happen, they're not your ideal client anyway, because you know, you can let the people who want to DIY. You're after the people who are needing your services and where you can add your most value. So just be aware of that with that downloadable as well. Amanda Pollock, PS for those that just joined me, welcome. Oh, we've got a massive group. Hello. Thank you for your patience. Webinar Jam had some issues with a relaunch of a new live webinar platform. PS, if anyone's using Webinar Jam, and I use it all the time, this won't change me using it, I've just got to quickly talk to their support this afternoon and figure out what's going on. It wouldn't let me into the session. You might have been able to get in, but I wasn't. For those doing live webinars at the moment in Webinar Jam, automated are still fine, but if you're doing live webinars, I highly recommend you quickly set up a test and see if you have the same things, the same problems that I had. If you've got one happening tomorrow or something, test it first, get on with their support. They're really responsive, and just find out, make sure that you can get in, because I couldn't, just letting you know. But I'm glad you've been able to join me. Next question, I'm working questions from first to last. Pop your question in the right-hand chat box. It's private, so I can see all of the questions, but no one else can see yours, so you don't have to worry about asking questions that sound silly. And if you've sent me a question in the portal or in advance, can you pop that in the chat box as well? Say, hey, Grace, I've sent it in the portal, so that it gets in order, and I don't wait till the end. I want to be answering yours as soon as I can. Amanda's question is next. And she just said, I sent you one in the portal. So I'm going to go and look in the portal, and there it is. So she's saying, oh, I need some breakfast. My tummy's going cray-cray. Okay, so she's wanting me to review a Facebook ad, which I think is the attachment, and she's wanting me to review a link, which I can review. 1 second, Amanda. That page doesn't exist. I reckon it's actually that page. Just looking at the link, I think it's meant to be this one. Cool. I reckon, Amanda, so yours is yeah, this to me is a bit vague. I have to read basically every word on this page to figure out what I'm getting specifically. So I'm guessing it's something to do with weight loss from what I'm starting to read as I work my way down. Like, so things like, you know, becoming the healthier you, or those kinds of like statements that can link us towards your industry or your space would definitely make more sense putting those in here. The other way to solve that is to make sure that you get an image in below the button. So double check that one as well. And I actually don't know what I'm getting. Is it a downloadable? Yes, free download. You've said that twice. You're right. Cool. I just didn't read that. Well, I didn't absorb that, but no, that's fine. I would definitely putting an image in below the button, not an image about you, an image about them. So something that is engaging or desirable or relatable for them in terms of the image. And then I would try and get something a little bit higher up, maybe in the free download line, where you actually kind of explain the benefit or the end goal. You've got the benefits down below, but the benefit or the end goal a little bit higher, so I don't have to read so much. Because the 1% better everyday challenge doesn't explain what you've got, and neither does the line below. They're cool headlines, but without any visuals on this page, without a logo that explains it, because it's not a logo that's obvious what you're doing, until I read those last 2 sentences of the smallest text at the bottom of the page, I have no idea what I'm actually getting. So that'd be the only thing there. Play around with that a little bit. Then the other part, I'll just quickly have a look at the thank you page. Submit. Thank you page. Oh, Aweber. Can you turn off the, so what it's just done for me, I'll just quickly share my screen with you. Share screen, present. What it's just done for me is asked me to do all of this after I submit before it takes me to the thank you page. I hate these. I think it's cool how they managed to do it. Does that have a gas station in it? I don't know. I give up because there's other more important things to do on Facebook, which is a lie, but what will happen? That's a storefront. I hate these things. They get me so confused. So, and I put the word test in. It's going to make it hard for me to get to the next page. I'm pretty sure in ClickFunnels, I'm pretty sure, because you can do this in MailChimp. I haven't tried, I know you're in Aweber. I haven't tried it with Aweber, but in MailChimp, you can definitely, on the right-hand side of ClickFunnels, if you're selecting MailChimp or Aweber for your integration, you can choose to turn off the robot kind of settings or the verification settings. So double check that. If it's not obvious, just type into ClickFunnels support and say, hey, when I'm using Aweber, is there any way to turn off the robot that appears after the email capture? Because it kind of sucks. Oh no, I just closed your question. 1 second. Bear with me, caller. Questions open alphabetically. Amanda, open. But you have pasted your thank you page link in separately, so I'll just quickly have a look at that. Cool.
I'm so excited to be hooking.
I love your video. Quality is supreme.
Better everyday challenge. I want to show you how to get the energy, the confidence, and the help.
Look at you. Good. Well done.
Have the lifestyle of your dream.
Yeah. Pretty excited about that.
Because it's as easy as getting one.
Beautiful. When they click to browse, I'm just wanting to see where they go through next. I was just double checking. The biggest thing that I see with those thank you page offers is that the second page is that people talk too long about what they've just given them. And they go on and on about how much value they've just gotten. People go, yeah, cool, I get it. This is just a regular thank you page video, close. It's like, no, you've got something else for them. And that's what you want to get to as quickly as possible. And you did that in the first sentence. You moved quite quickly. And maybe even it got a little surprise for you because, saying things like that before you launch too much further into how much you want to help them. Got a little surprise for you, or I've got a special announcement for you, or something like that. I wanted to let you know of a private invitation I've got, or something like that, right? And then when they click through, they're obviously going to your page. I wonder, because hold on, what's the call to action? You need a reason to go and take action today rather than just browse. So I know you've got an email address on the first page, and there's no reason why you can't nurture those guys, look after those guys, love those guys up, and convert with those guys if you continue to email them well. But I would, rather than just saying click below to check out my nutrition program, click below for is there something you can give them? Can you give them, is it worth in your, and you've got to have a look at your pricing model and your profitability of each client, lifetime value of each client. Is it worth doing a 30-minute phone chat with them? Is it worth, is there a free gift you can give them? Is there a free mini portal you can create, and use some urgency around that for the next 7 days. Then all nutrition plans come with something else, right? So that when I go over to your page, I'm inspired and motivated to figure out what you've got for me now. And the only thing is that below, I would probably move the button up a little bit, the click to browse button, and call that instead, get my free access plan, or some link along, get my free shopping list or whatever it is that you could add on. Below it, having some sort of image of what you've got for them, or a banner of what you've got for them, so that you can see some of the product on this page would also be kind of cool. Yeah, but you've done a good job. And then it's just a matter of launching this and seeing what works, right? You've got to let your market tell you, and they'll tell you with their mouths, they'll tell you what they like and what they don't. So they'll tell you if they love your ad, and then if they go through to the ad and they get to the landing page and they're not putting their email in, they'll tell you that they don't like your downloadable or the layout of your downloadable page. And then if they all say yes to your ad, yes to your downloadable, but they don't say yes on this page, they're telling you that they don't quite get the next offer, or it doesn't really make sense, or there's not enough urgency in that offer. So you can just basically go through and see what they tell you. Because sometimes people overdo the work that they do on a funnel, and they play around on that landing page for ages. Whereas if they had just launched it, they would have found out that it converted at 45%. So run with it, you know what I mean? So for me, my biggest thing, take the feedback that I've given you on that first page, but then in the day, your market's the only one that can tell you if they like what they see. And so and like what you've got for them. They like your offer, right? And they feel like that offer is actually solving a problem that they've got, and you've identified those issues that they've got, and you're now ready to help them. Maybe too, I would add one more bullet point on the first page around a pain point that they're suffering from. Probably the first bullet point, or first or second bullet point. I'd add one in there saying, talking about a pain point, because that's where you're going to get that kind of traction, and then you list the benefits below that, which is good. And your Facebook ad, I'll just have a quick look at that. Open. Woohoo! Look at that Facebook ad. Flipping awesome. So the only thing that I can see that you haven't put in is the ad description. Am I right? The ad description below the headline. I can't see that on your screenshot, which is weird if you've added it in. You mustn't have added it in. So just the ad description below is that little curiosity statement that sort of starts with a bit of authority and kind of reiterates what you've got for them. It's just like one small sentence at the very bottom below the headline. And then it always finishes with mid-sentence with a ... So people are like, what's she going to say? Click, off we go. Everything else about that is flipping awesome. Love it. Look at that. You guys with that training are writing kick bottom ads that people pay a lot of money for. So well done. You've just outsourced the need for a Facebook copywriter. I mean, made redundant a Facebook copywriter in your business. Gentry, your question. Can you check out the layout on my core offer landing page? Yes, I can. Nice. Go you. Look at this. That's a lot of work. Sorry, I'm just looking at her landing page. That's good. That's really good. So, what do they get? 14-day free trial. So, I'm so proud of you. This is a lot of work. Oh, my word. Do you mind if I show this to people? Totally fine if you don't want me to, because it's flipping awesome. And I'm aware if you want to keep it private. But let me know in the chat if I can share this. Flipping brilliant. My only thing with this then is I have found that, one second. Cool. No, I have found that autoplay videos work better. So if this were me, I'd probably put this video into Wistia or Vimeo, in my opinion, Vimeo, and I'd make it autoplay. And a lot of people have opinions on that and say, oh, I'm so frustrated by autoplay, but at the end of the day, every single time I've used it on any landing page, they convert better when I turn on autoplay compared to making them click the button themselves. So I usually do autoplay, just keep that in mind. I feel like you can't do autoplay on a YouTube though, right? Or maybe you can in the ClickFunnels settings. Check the ClickFunnels settings for the YouTube version, otherwise I just upload it into Vimeo, but see how you go. It's not like a deal breaker, but you will just have a slight increase in conversion rates. So I would say in the ready to stop, in your first headline, turn the ... into a question mark, because it is a question you're asking, and it's just as powerful as a ... when you've got a question mark. People feel a need to read an answer. And then the only other thing is that I feel like there's too many words. Don't know how you got the button to do that cool thing. Crikey bulbs, you're a ClickFunnels whiz. Is this ClickFunnels? It is, yeah. You're a ClickFunnels whiz. I feel like there's a little bit too much text on the right-hand side. Like before the button, there's 3 or 4 big sentences that they have to read. So I would personally, they're all good though. I don't know what you would take out. Don't know what you would take out. This page is flipping awesome. We'd have to play a little bit. I think you'd take out, nah, maybe just leave it because there's nothing I think you could take out. Maybe just leave it. And then the last thing is test people on Facebook going straight to this page with a free trial ad, and also test people going through a lead magnet. I feel like you probably have to start with a lead magnet first, but and just adding in an opt-in page before this, using all this same coloring. It's an awesome brand. I love the coloring. So having that on the first page, and then and then going through to this. So testing ads, going directly through your trial, and testing ads going through a lead magnet first. Go you. I'll just quickly check that as well. She says sure, girlies. She says sure. Everyone that wants to see this page, look. You ready? So it's just a bit too much for in my opinion, I reckon it's going to be too much directing them straight from Facebook. I think she'll have to go through a lead magnet, but it's a kick-ass thank you page. But because it's so good, I would probably test spending like $20 on an ad for 4 days and see if we can get any results going directly to the ad. See if we can get a member signed up through that. Look at this. Like social proof, that high. So trust symbols, that high. Social proof, that high. Inclusions, visuals. Imagine like so you can kind of paint that picture and people can imagine themselves in it. She's built her entire course in ClickFunnels. So this whole thing has been done in ClickFunnels, which is flipping brilliant. I'm so proud of her. Can you imagine how much work this would take? Recipes, shopping lists, meal plans, all beautifully designed. And just those visuals. I don't even know how you do those visuals like that. Can you tell us? She's got her office hours happening each week. She's got a membership group. She's got her cooking labs tutorials, demonstration videos. Look at that. This, if anyone wants it, Gentry in the Doing Academy group. I love smoothies and juices. Look at this page. Think about the work that happens to make this happen. She's got a guarantee, which is her 14-day free trial. She's got a beautiful photo. Join now for free. Yeah. So if you're sending, can I just say one more thing? If you're sending people to this directly from Facebook, put an so if this is a page going directly from Facebook, I mean, how do I explain this a better way? Do it this way. If you're using this page as it is, put a lead magnet before it that has a really, really simple page, right? Everything's above the fold, basically. Use the, have I got an example here? No, I don't really. Use the one where you've got the image on the left and the bullet points on the right, and you've got that kind of bio below. It's the first one in the self-liquidating funnel. It's the first that I've shared with you. It's the first page in self-liquidating funnel. It's the example. It's like the Lisa witching hour one that I show you in the Facebook training. It's that page, that look and feel. Use that as your lead magnet, because I've had some girls convert that at 77%. Although I've had also the competition one converting ridiculously high as well, around the same mark. So either or. I like the look and feel of the one that I showed you in the Facebook example better, but the other one's converting just as well for certain things. Anyway, lead magnet first, then through to this page. If you're testing going through to this page directly from Facebook, make sure that this first page, you only capture an email address. So take this out, and all of these buttons, every button on the page should open the pop-up, and they put their email address in first. The second page that they go through to next should have this look and feel on it again, like literally just copy and paste this and put that onto the next one. That's the way that I would personally go about that. So you just have to do a bit of cloning of pages, or clone the funnel once and then just tweak it a little bit. One, put an ad before, put a landing page before. The second one, tweak this page and put an order form after. Does that make sense? I'm so proud of you. This is so much work, and basically this to me signifies that Gentry will be successful, because she's made this happen in a relatively short amount of time. She's followed all of my processes, and she's putting out quality stuff, quality content, not just like creating something half crappy and hoping that people will actually want to pay her cash for that. Like, I don't know. It just shows me that she's willing to work hard, because this isn't easy. She's recognized that she's an intelligent woman, and she's just jumped in. She's putting herself out there. Like, this is just going to be a matter of her tweaking this funnel. She's got her offer. She's just going to have to keep tweaking until she nails it, and it will happen sooner than most with her because of her attitude to this. Very proud of you, Gentry. Okay, enough of that. She's already got it nailed. Her lead magnet page is already converting at 60%. I thought we looked at a lead magnet page. I can't think of what that is for you. Great. So her lead magnet page comes before at 60%. This is her second page. Yay! Send some traffic to this baby. And girlies, she uses My eCover Maker. I've seen that before. myecovermaker.com. I didn't realize you can make it look that good. I was playing around with that once. Good job. Well done. Very happy. Okay, next. Charmaine, yes, I saw your question in the portal. Let me grab it for you. Sorry, I've got to slow down with my talking. I saw your question in the portal. Let me grab that for you. Must have been the other one. Definitely saw it. There it is. Cool. So she's running a live workshop. I guess I'm aware of this one, for how to apply for unadvertised jobs. And the offer that she's giving in her workshop is a weekly email subscription service that will queue in the members. Queue in the members. I think that was a typo. I'm just trying to read the question. 1 second. Yes, so the email sequence that you want me to share, so she just told me about her offering, and the best way to figure out if this offering is going to work is to pitch it at the event. Before I pitched it at an event, I would always go and I would find 5 or 10 people who I would think would be my ideal clients that are family members or friends, and also just go out to the market and ask people, like jump into HR groups and things like that and actually ask for their feedback. And I wouldn't even give them what you're tell them what you're giving them. I'd ask them the open questions like, what are you struggling with the most? I mean, they tell you, say, can you tell me more about that? And like actually listen, just ask those questions, actually listen, and find out what, where they're actually sitting, where their pain points are, and just listen for trigger words. You want to understand what they actually need from you. That will encourage them to pay you for it, right? Because no one wants to pay you for your knowledge. Fact. People want to pay you for a solution to their problem. So just because you got knowledge or you got information to share, no one wants to pay you for that. No one wants to part with their cash for that. People want you to solve their problem. So hopefully you've got to find out what the problem is and match your skills and your services up to be able to solve that problem directly. So hopefully you've already done this and you've already talked to people and figured out that this is the best way that you can help them. And I always ask questions, you know, like what would success look like then for you? Actually getting this problem solved, what would that look like for you? Talk to me more about that so you actually can figure out and ask those questions and figure out what that looks like for them. And they'll start to say trigger words and you're like, oh, cool, they want access to experts. Cool. Okay, well, I'll make sure I have that part in it, right? So that's kind of how I normally formulate products or services. And then once you've got once you feel like you've validated with a certain number of ideal clients, then going and doing it at your live workshop and they will tell you, because they'll decide at the end of the day whether they want to take advantage of your opportunity or not. And so they will basically tell you that, and you'll be able to test different offers, which is why I love live events so much. You can literally see the room as you say something to them in this particular offer. You can see the room go, and they'll like whisper to their friends, or they'll smile, or they'll start taking notes. You're like, oh, okay, that's what they really, really want. Whereas when you're in a sales video or you're trying to do it, you know, totally online, you can't see those little nuances of the bits that they did like and the bits that they didn't. You know, and it sounds horrifying when you're up there, like when you're really thinking you have to get up there and speak in front of these people, because when they don't like things, when they don't like something that you're offering, they put down their pens and they'll actually sit there and fold their arms, and a lot of people will be like, and like just lose your eye contact. And that's when you know they don't want what you've got. So I learned so much. I pitched, as you know, I've pitched almost 100 times at live events and given people that next step, and I just watch and see, is this what you really, really want? No. Okay. Right, back to the drawing board. The next one, I'm gonna test something new and think about the bits where your interest was piqued and you did feel like I could solve your problem. Because I always know that I can solve their problem. I just need to figure out what that looks like to them, if that makes sense. Now, your question at the end in terms of in order to promote this offer after the workshop, I will need to set up an email nurture sequence. When you're doing a workshop, you pitch there. So you open that, you present that opportunity, and you give them the opportunity to sign up, and you give them a special reason to sign up today, give them a really reasonable offer. A lot of my girls that signed up at live events got ridiculous pricing, or all of them got ridiculous pricing that isn't available anymore. And that pricing was for life. So give them some sort of, and maybe this pricing will be going up. So this is your great offer, but you don't do it after an email sequence ever. The whole point of a workshop is that while you've got them in the room, you need to give them that next step. And encourage the people that are serious and feel like you could add huge value to their problem to take advantage of that in the room there now. So you'll be able to see all the details on that in Module 8. But you're in the workshop project, so don't even bother with Module 8 because you've got all the advanced stuff inside the workshop project. So maybe that was missed. Maybe it's worth going back to the presentation part. Or maybe you're not up to the presentation part yet, but go to the presentation part because you'll see the whole point is to have people take advantage of that opportunity in the room. Once they've left the room, you've basically lost them. They're back into their busy day-to-day lives. They're back into non-committal spaces. They're back into the problem, the pain, and the frustration rather than actually realising that there is a solution. So keep that in mind. Always presented that opportunity at the event. Next question is from Anne. Anne entered a question in the portal as well. Well, I will get that for you, Anne. Got it. Okay, so she's got a lead magnet that she wants me to get some feedback, give some feedback on. Cool. Why has my mouse just stopped working? Don't die, mouse. No, I think it'll be okay. I hope it'll be okay. I need to plug it in, charge it. Cool. Yeah, good content. And I like that you're going infographic style too with this kind of stuff because that makes sense with the 4 steps, the 2 4-step diagrams. I like that with the positive upward spiral and the negative downward spiral. So definitely infographics there. Now the biggest thing with this beautiful. The biggest thing with this is that just visually, and you've just created the content, right? And this content is value packed. You're giving them actionable steps. So at the end of each teaching that she's giving, she's also saying, now what to do about it. And she's giving some kind of next steps and some mindset things that need to change and that kind of thing. So I'm really happy with this downloadable. It'll all be about making it look wonderful, which is the next step. But if you've got someone on Fiverr or you've got someone on Anna's team or you jump into Canva and give it a crack yourself, you'll be able to design a really good looking downloadable with this content and it will actually add value, which is the biggest thing. You cannot give too much, in my opinion. Well, you probably could. You could like give everything for free and never charge a price. But as you know, these are all the first steps and the critical ones people have to work through. And there's plenty more you can share in your paid programs. So this is good. I like it. Value packed, very rich. And in terms of that bit where you said, am I being too salesy? No. And I would probably even add 1 or 2 more parts when you're talking about what to do next. Don't necessarily say buy my product, but saying I'd love to invite you to join me in, like what you're saying, join me in my Facebook group, or to take advantage of my $1 trial for this or my $37 product, or scheduling a consult, right? So you can do 1 or 2 more call to actions throughout the content as well. And then at the end, just make sure you've got a final close page where it's like, love this and want more, you know, and give them a specific call to action with some benefits as to what they're going to get if they take advantage of that call to action. I'm just going to quickly ask the girls to run me up a mouse in case this one dies because it's slowing down. Isn't that a thing? Can your mouse die? Hey, girls, can someone run up a mouse to the house? ASAP, please. Cool. I'm getting a mouse to my house. Okay, next question is from, hope that helped, Dan, but nailing it, being generous. It's one of the best things you can do for your community. Hi, girlies. Yeah, I know, guys. PS, those that have just joined me, I had to put the new link in on the portal and everywhere else because I had issues with Webinar Jam this morning. Well, everyone's had issues with Webinar Jam this morning. Pop your question in the right-hand chat box if you've just joined me and I'll be able to answer it in order. And if you have sent me a question in the portal, let me know that and I'll also go and answer that as well. Questions are private, which is why you can only see your own question. Okay, so Melissa's question. Yes, absolutely. So Melissa, Melissa's question is around adding urgency in for her offer. She's got a $37 first offer. And when she's got a likable lady emails that go out, if you think about it, Wow, that was quick. Thanks. I'm just in the section. Thank you. This is Kara. You just saw Kara's hand. Say hi, Kara. Stick your head in. Keep going. Hey! Thank you. I think my ass is about to die. Thanks, Dom. So you're here, right? And you're offering on this landing page. Basically, this is a Facebook ad, then through to a landing page 1, which is your lead magnet, through to landing page 2, which is your initial offer, that first step you want people to take towards you. She's got a $37 product there. For people that don't say yes straight away, she's putting them into a likable lady nurture and trying to get those people to keep going back to that page, and eventually once you've built up, hit the right objection or build up that right amount of trust for them to go back and purchase. And some will happen in the first 5 emails, and then there'll be a certain percentage that won't say yes at that point, and she'll just continue to keep them warm on her email list by giving lots of value, and eventually when they need her, they'll come back. In terms of these 5 emails, she's wondering, how can I add even more urgency for this offer? When I've got an offer like that, and I normally do things like 7-day or 7 to 14 day offers, in those emails, I make sure that they go out within, if it's a 7-day offer, go out within 7 days. If it's a 14-day offer, go out within the 14 days. And I will literally just keep talking about how it's only available for the next however many days are left in that particular nurture. And if you can figure out a countdown timer that will allow you to do a countdown that's based more on a dynamic time and date, because it won't be a set time and date. Someone's 7 days could end on Sunday, and another person's 7 days could end the following Wednesday. You know what I mean? Because everyone's coming in at different times. So I know how you do date-based when you're doing a promotion around, this definitely ends on the 14th of April. You can do that with a mail motion or motion mail countdown timer, but otherwise you have to get pretty techy with something like Deadline Funnels. Deadline Funnels lets you put countdown timers in, and I use it for all of mine, but it's quite expensive and it's really techy. So I only do it when you're kind of hitting that mid 6-figure mark. Then it takes everything to the next level. Pricing, I feel like it's expensive. Yeah, it's $37 per month. It's not cheap just to get countdown timers. It does a lot more than countdown timers, but it doesn't build funnels. It does all of your urgency around countdown timers. It took me forever to figure out how to set it up. So I probably wouldn't recommend that particularly if you're in anything near startup stage. So let's just get this baby live, and there's no reason why you can't do a banner that says 3 days and counting with a little clock beside it in your email halfway down or something like that. And there's no reason why you can't just use text for that urgency and bold, 4 days left to go. And then at the end of that 7 days, that 14 days, you don't keep giving them that opportunity. So you don't keep sending them to that same link or giving them that same opportunity. I guess they could go back to an old email a week later and go and take advantage if that link is still available on a page somewhere, and go and take advantage of that offer. That tends not to happen. When you stop talking about it, people tend to not go back and go, oh, it's day 8 and she said it ended on day 7, but I've gone back and I've taken that offer. And if they do you mind? All right, so putting that urgency in there so you don't talk about it anymore after that urgency is supposed to end, I think is important. But people spend way too much time trying to figure out how they can turn the link off dynamically. And there's ways to do that, and I do that in my funnel, but I didn't for the first, I'd made millions before I put deadline funnels in. So you don't really need it. You need it for that next level of growth. So yeah, always date-based, always time-based, and make sure that you use your emails to have that urgency built into it. Next question is in the portal from Shansu. I'm going to say, for the person in my team transcribing this video, it's SHANNSU. Shansu. Let's find her question. It's not that one. Maybe she put it into the Identity Project. Oh, let me just look at that list. Un momento. Load. Good. I can't see it. What email did you use? Did you give me your email address? Can you let me know your email address so I can have a look for it? Because I can't see it. You may not have hit submit. I've had a few people do that where they kind of get to the bottom and then they don't hit submit at the end. Because I've only got 3 S's in there, and I've even looked to see if you've mistyped it, and because that happens a lot, people mistyping their names, and it's not even anything similar. If you could just let me know, basically either try and resubmit it or just simply pop it into the chat box and I'll be able to answer it right now. Carmela, Cool. Awesome. So your subscription box for crochet, yes. Quick tips. So subscription box for crochet, she's wanting on some quick tips on a process or a funnel for this kind of thing. Subscription box always work best when you give away a first box that's half price or free. This is a lot in terms of the cost in doing this to acquiring a new customer. So I would definitely be very aware. I would know down to the cent exactly how much each of my boxes cost me, and I would upfront try and see if there was any way for me to wangle some free product through doing advertising kind of contra deals, in the sense where, hey, can you give me 100 of these particular things and I will send out an email for you, put a post in my Facebook page, or put 3 posts in my Facebook page, and put in a little brochure or a pamphlet in my subscription box for you. And these will be going out to 100 crochet loving, fans. That is probably the way that I would try and go about it. And I've got a few girls in this space building up their subscription box, doing more contra stuff, because the items that they're putting in there are really low cost to their supplier. And so when you cumulatively pull all of these together, they might mean that there's a few little brochures or cards or things in the pack of suppliers, but that will kind of help you get your head start in subscription boxes. I would also make sure that I go and do my research on, damn it, I forgot the name of it. It's a US-based website, and it's called Cratejoy, isn't it? This is what I was looking for. Yeah, Cratejoy is a good one to go and get inspiration and see what other people in your industry are putting in, and see if there's any kinds of things where you think, oh my goodness, that's got a massive perceived value, but I could source that really, really cheap, or I've got access to that particular thing, so that you can make sure that your profit margins are larger. Then, the way that it normally works best is going through some form of free lead magnet, free tutorial, that kind of the same membership funnel that you'll see in the project. That same membership funnel, which always starts with a lead magnet, and on the second page gives them an opportunity to test out that program, that particular membership program, with a really low commitment offer. So a 50% or a free first box, or a $1 first box, right? You're always getting the credit card regardless, because it will automatically charge for future months if they don't cancel first. If they love it, they just have to stay. They can just stay and not do a thing. So keep that in mind when you're building up this kind of brand. They will need, particularly if it's brand new, you don't have any testimonials, you don't have any social proof, you don't have any word of mouth or raving, 50,000 raving Facebook fans until that point. When you're launching, you're going to need to just be quite generous with a subscription box service. But always go through an email address first, so that you can love up those guys that don't say yes right away, and you can show them all the different kinds of benefits and deal with any objections they might have towards getting that box in those likable lady emails. Yeah. And some good photography is another tip there too. Good photography / videos. I love it when people do subscription boxes and do a flat lay kind of video from above. They're called flat lay photos. What's it called when you do a video from above? Whatever that looks like. When you do a video from above and there's a table with 2 hands on it, and they pack up the box, and you can see all the little bits and pieces around there packing in the box. Pack it all up, put a nice ribbon on it, or however you normally package it up, and so that people can kind of see the look and the feel and feel like they're touching that physical product. Power of physical product is huge though. Your other option is to do what I call a bribe. I mean, this works as well with subscription boxes. To do some sort of bribe where you offer in a lead magnet some sort of free training that they get access to. They put their email in, you give them free training, free demonstration, free something around crocheting, right? Works really well if you can do a video version. And then at the end, telling them, I'm going to actually give you access. I've got this $500 program that I'm actually going to give you access to that has this, and it's an online little one-off information product. And I'm giving this for free this month to everyone who joins me inside the subscription box, and that's kind of like a bribe offer where they join you in the subscription box and they kind of come in first time because of this awesome bonus that you're giving them, and then end up staying because they get their first box and go, oh my gosh, this is amazing, this is so valuable, and then they end up staying because they fall in love with the box. So it's called a bribe mechanism. Don't say the word bribe. I personally wouldn't. Some people do, but I wouldn't. But they're mainly male markets where I've seen them use the word bribe in their marketing. But I'm letting them know that you've got this and you're actually going to give this to them for free if they decide to test out your subscription box service today. Always get a credit card. It should automatically tick over into a customer after the trial, not having to get them to resubscribe and go into their card details again or anything like that. So I hope that helps, Carmela. Let me see, Shansu, if you've sent it through. Oh, yes, I saw yours. Totally different name was put in because I remember your name. I remember seeing that question. Let me just have a quick look. It was under, I think it was under this one. I remember seeing that question about French. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's your email address. Starts with that. Sorry. You're welcome. So that's right. So she's going in completely different niches from her French-speaking universe to an English-speaking one, right? And the way that she's serving clients, she's actually moving from a purely French market to more of an international market. So everything she's currently been doing in terms of her emails and her Facebook page posts and her, like, all of her communication, even her videos were all in French, and now she's moving to English. How does she make the transition? Does she just one day start speaking English and hope no one notices? No. So the benefit for your community, or you're always coming for benefit focus for them, and the reason for this, the core reason for this should always be for your market, not for yourself. So the reason for your market is probably because you're wanting to be able to reach and serve so many more people that are interested in your message and that have expressed how much they love what you're doing but just can't connect because of the language barrier. And so you've finally decided that you've got a special announcement to make, and you'll be making this accessible to all English-speaking, kind of, and then talking about your particular brand or your particular niche or industry. People that are passionate about this, no matter where you're from, I'm so excited to be able to come together with you and continue to build our community more inclusively, blah, blah, right? So picking out the pros of this and focusing on those. So you need to make a special announcement. You can't just switch. So a nice little email campaign and a nice little series of Facebook posts, run it over a week and have it as an excuse, a reason to reach out to people. Can it be linked with anything? Is it like around your first birthday, or is it around your, if your company, is there any way that you can link it to exciting things that are happening? Maybe you've reached the next level of growth, or maybe you're launching a new product on the same time and you're excited that for the first time you're going to be opening this opportunity up to all English-speaking lovers of blah, right? So don't just switch when you're doing this kind of thing. Have a very obvious, exciting build up around it, and make sure that they're aware that there are the positives for this, the reasons why you're doing this, the motivations for this, that people understand it, and how exciting this is, right? To now be part of a movement that is so much bigger and has so much scope and so much more inclusivity around the community you're building. And I don't know, for the first few posts, I'd probably be putting a little French translation in as well, just so you're not just like banning all of those people. Putting in a French translation for the first little while, and then slowly just drop that off, and then moving forward, English is your only language moving forward. And then just keep an eye on the inbox, keep an eye on the Facebook page or groups or whatever you're using, and start to see what the feedback is. And I'm pretty sure you get people saying, oh, I'm so glad I've got friends I've been wanting to invite, those kinds of things, compared to, speak my language, I can't understand you. I feel like it'll be the other way around, particularly when you're choosing English over French. If you're going from English to French, yeah, you'd be excluding a big part of the market, but you're going the other way, right? Next question is from, got to make sure I don't miss anyone. Going in order. Oh crap, I'm really behind. Going faster. Hi guys. Melanie. Cool. So she's saying my Facebook ads are converting, but my landing page isn't. So definitely So I know exactly why this isn't converting. You've got to use one of my landing pages. So use my landing page, jump into the email inbox and email us. Someone will get back to you within 2 days if you haven't got my landing pages. But this is in ClickFunnels, right? And it looks nothing like my landing pages. So this won't convert. Basically, your opt-in is way too far down the page. Also, the photo being a stock photo and actually having stock photo across it is very detrimental. And also, I think that might be illegal. So double check on that, because I don't think if you have bought it, you're not using the purchased version, because it still says iStock photo on it. And they get grumpy about that. They've got Dun & Bradstreet and all these kinds of people out there looking. They have robots that look for people that are using the images without legal access to that, and they're suing people, and it happens quite a bit. And then the suing is like a good few $1,000s. So definitely buy stock photos to use them. Don't just screenshot them. But yeah, this landing page is definitely nothing like what I've taught. So I want you to make sure that you use the ones that I teach on. So, because I know they work, and every time my girls use them, they work. So use the one in, I'll just quickly show you the layout, guys, so you can see the one I'm talking about. Jump in and grab it for you. Hold with me for 2 seconds, and I'll show you the 2 ones that I love the most. Come on. Okay, so, oh, I'm in the wrong ClickFunnels account. Quickly log out. And then quickly log in. These are my 2 favorite landing pages that my girls are having the best results with. Log in before the video.
Jared. Hi. So,
Who's watched the ClickFunnels video 14 million thousand times? Oh, stop. That's one autoplay I don't like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to clickfunnels.com and just try and do that like 3 times a day and listen to that. Okay, share funnels. Where are my share funnels that I share with you? Here. Where are they? I think I have to type the word share in up the top. Share. Where are my share funnels? Oh no, they're under Academy share funnels. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. I'll open up that for you and then I'll share my screen. I'll just get the pages loaded. So it is, I've had visitors to this and people opting in. It's a fake funnel, it's a template. Don't do that. Come on, load, load and load. These 2, you ready? Share my screen, share with everyone, entire screen, present, view. This one, you would have seen all sorts of versions of this inside the Doing Academy. So this one here converts like crazy, and this one here converts like crazy. I think this one's relatively ugly, but it just keeps converting like crazy, so use it. So these 2, and these 2 funnels are called Grace's Self-Liquidating Funnel and Grace's Network Marketing Funnel. Now, if you've got a different funnel, but obviously if you're doing live events, use a live event funnel and so on. But if you're doing a different funnel and you want to put this page into something that you've already built, for example, you've put all the work in and you just want to add this page to the front, this took me ages to figure out, but it makes it so much easier. I didn't realize you could do this. You can copy a landing page from one funnel, like my share funnel, into a funnel that you've already got. So you do that just by hitting on, remember, settings general. Yeah, settings general, save page as template, right? Oh, I've already saved this one, right? Or you can do that with this one here, edit page. All my new training has the new ClickFunnels videos in it, which is good for the portal. General, save page as template, name the page itself, and then you can always go into, once you've named it and hit save, you can go, I'll just hit back for a second. Get out of it. When you're in the funnel that you want to add that step to, you just hit add a new step, create, and instead of grabbing one of their templates, you go to show only my templates, and it'll show your templates if you're under opt-in, right? So whichever type of page it is, it'll show them. And it took me ages to figure out when I'd done like a sales page, for example, and I couldn't see it in Show Only My Templates is because you got to go to that section and Show Only My Templates, right? Or order form, Show Only My Templates. So you'll find all of your templates in there. It works really well if you do it that way. So keep that in mind. I'll take that out in case anyone downloads this funnel. But it's called Grace is Self-Liquidating, or this one here, which is the network marketing one. Those two work really well. It's also in this network marketing one's also in the competition funnel as well. This page, you'll have recognised it. It's in a few funnels. This one's this one is in the Grace's one's also in self-liquidating and the service-based or coach consultant kind of coaching consult-based funnel. Service-based funnel, it's the first one in that, and this one's in the competition funnel and it's in the network marketing funnel. I think that's it. Yeah. So I hope that one helps. Those two pages are the highest converting, and that's the whole reason why your Facebook ad's working, because you're probably following my principles there, but the page isn't, because you've got to follow my principles. Next question. Is it even possible to create an online store that features a variety of MLM companies' products? Is that legal? No. I'm not a lawyer, that isn't legal advice, but I would not imagine that is legal. You can obviously just go and ask the network marketing companies. I can't give you advice on that, but everything in me that knows anything about that space would say absolutely not legal. Next question is from Jackie. She submitted a question through the portal. I have seen a Jackie. I got two Jackies, but I think you're this one. Okay. Okay, when it comes to startups and launching a new course in my industry, what are the sorts of things that I need to know about a startup? For example, do I need heaps of Facebook likes, or do I need heaps of Instagram or Pinterest followers? How do I boost all of those? No. If you want tips on how to get started, seriously, start in Module 1, and in a matter of days, the new portal will be available. So I would almost just pause in terms of the Doing Academy new portal, and there's also some new training being added to the Identity Project. But the Doing Academy new portal, we redo that every year around this time. So between February and April, this gets relaunched. And so that's happening this year. And there's some really cool stuff in there in Module 1 and 2 that seriously every single person in this academy must do, because I've been recognizing some things that people are forgetting to do around validating their offer, around their pricing structure, and around getting that startup momentum that I've been putting into there and making sure that people follow that process. And it's very step by step. So as soon as that launches, Module 1 and 2 are critical, and I want you to spend some time in there, Jackie. That gives you everything you need to know about that pure startup stage, from like creating a logo for the first time right through to like all the steps that you need to take and in what order. Likes don't matter. Well, organic reach basically on Facebook, and Facebook has said this themselves, organic reach is no longer getting traction or getting ranked when it comes to Facebook's newsfeed. People like on average something like 157 pages on each Facebook profile. So it's ridiculous how many Facebook pages people like, and as a result, they don't have any, organic doesn't have any reach in the newsfeed anymore. It's all full of friends and it's all full of ads. So they're the only two things that we usually get in the newsfeed. So from an organic point of view, you're not going to get much traction just by having free followers. You do when you get to the thousands or the tens of thousands, but in the hundreds, it doesn't matter. When it comes to your likes, you will organically grow your likes when you're doing your advertising. The only thing I recommend, but this is down the track, right? You've got to get all the other bits and pieces sorted, but down the track, the only other thing that I recommend is just getting friends, family, people you know, contacts, those kinds of things to like your page first, so you haven't just got like 3 likes if anyone goes and validates you and wants to check your authority. So try and get it up to sort of 50, maybe 100, but I wouldn't personally be spending money on that or heaps of time on that. That won't make you money. Yeah, so the biggest thing is, and too many people spend so much time on their websites, so much time on their branding and all those kinds of things before they've made money from their business, good volumes of money from their business. So I always recommend getting the bare bones ready to go and just getting straight in, getting a funnel launched. Just start building an email community, start getting traffic, start getting your name out there, start building sales, and focusing on that first before getting too much else in terms of business infrastructure and brand presence set up. That's my opinion. But basically, jumping into Module 1 and working through the academy, make sure that you do things in order. and and you do the priorities first. So in particular with a new academy launching, I'd highly recommend you just pause and focus on module 1 and 2 first when they come out as well, the new versions. You can start now on modules 1 and 2 if you want, but the new versions are going to be even more succinct, and I have a few more things in there that will make a bit more sense to people that are in that startup stage as well, and also to people that are building really quickly or taking new directions in the business or taking offline, online. It's not necessarily startup stage, but they're kind of core principles that I was seeing people weren't doing first when they build their business that should be done first, and as a result, once they got through to launching, we find that people didn't want it. It's because they've missed all these steps at the beginning. So keep that in mind. Tonya, radio. So she's just having trouble with her value ladder at the moment. She's got all of her free reports and high-end budgets and all that kind of stuff. Oh, sorry, she's got her free-end reports, then she's got her high-end private services and weekly accountability calls and things like that. She doesn't know what to make for her middle products. Normally your middle products are online courses. So normally they're little mini courses online. They might be one-off online courses, or they might be membership programs. And they normally sit around the $30 to $200 mark in that price point. So consider if any of your things, a lot of people will say that their Genius Sewing can't be taken online in that way because they think it's a one-on-one service, but there's always elements that can be turned into a version of help that can be provided to the masses for a much lower price point because they don't have the access to you in the same way they do in a one-on-one. So normally online programs and courses. Anna, training modules for online training. Do we use Moodle or is it all in Infusionsoft? I'm just trying to figure out what you're saying there. Let me just double check. Like, are you talking about Moodle as in the Australian kind of RTO online program that universities use? Is it all in Infusionsoft? No, so basically all of this is in Module 9 of the Doing Academy. So Module 9 of the Doing Academy, I show you how I build portals. A lot of my girlies are building amazing portals in ClickFunnels. I built one last night in about 30 minutes. No less, like really quickly, built a mini portal in that for something else that I was launching. I always start in ClickFunnels. And then once I've proven concepts and I'm starting to build a really big community around that, I'll move to WordPress. And so you'll see all of that in there. I highly recommend owning your online program, not putting it in Teachable or any of those other Udemy, any of those other online courses, because you literally own nothing and you're required to abide by their rules and regulations. And you're required for people to follow the sign-up processes and the way they work. They obviously have got commissions that they're taking for that. And so particularly the sign-up process is where a lot of my girls come undone because they go and put their programs into another program provider and they don't have any say over the sign-up process, and some of them are horrific and just don't convert. So it doesn't matter how much traffic they send, they're going to struggle to make money from that. So plus you just don't own your program. So the value of that asset is dramatically diminished from a selling of the business point, but just also from a risk management point of owning your own assets in your business. And if your course ends up becoming a huge asset, which it will if you do your marketing properly, you want to own it. So that's why I recommend ClickFunnels and WordPress as the best platforms for that. Grace, great name. Question in the portal, Grace Jones, amazing name. I feel like that's like a movie star name. Okay, Grace Jones. At the end of last year, I decided to sell my business and move location. Woo! Congratulations. She's an acupuncturist, so can't quite take the business with her in that sense. Well done, congratulations. I'm wanting to create a funnel flow to launch and open my new clinic in my new location. Now, the clinic will be opening in August. She's going to be moving in July. Any great tips of ways to build up hype to launch this new service? So I love physical product, physical location-based businesses in the sense that there are so many different ways you can advertise. I want you to be focusing on the Google Maps listing and basically doing that right now. If there's any way of you having someone there receive a postcard for you, which is because Google will send that to verify that you can set up a maps listing for that location, just have someone there to say, yes, I will I will keep my eye out for a Google postcard. That's the only thing you really need to do. The rest of it is all in the training on Google Maps optimization. So check out the Google Maps optimization training. Check out also my SEO training. So when you set up your website, I highly recommend, if you haven't set up a website, my guys in the Philippines are looking after so many of my girls. They're not like through me. I don't have any involvement in the build or the communication or anything. So go directly to them. But I've been using them for 5 years and love them. So they're in the Doers Book. So doersbook.thedoingacademy.com, doersbook.thedoingacademy.com. You'll find them in there. Look for Anna under website design. She's gold. If you want something really exceptional too, I was doing a training with Elizabeth the other day from Elizabeth Jean Branding. Amazing. Next price point though. So if you're in startup stage, you might want to start on the lower cost, because those guys in the Philippines are only $10 an hour. What was I going to say? Yes, so Google Maps listing, and then once you've got your website, SEO, SEO, SEO. So we can get some local listings. In your market, acupuncturist in a geographical area will be really straightforward. No one will be working in that space well. So if you take the simple SEO steps that I recommend you take in the SEO training, on-page optimization and some citation building, things like that, you'll have no issues at all. You'll be ranking quite quickly. And I've had quite a few girls in similar spaces in terms of saturation levels in their market, and they've got, like, they email me or Facebook message in the Facebook group and talk about how they're like number 2 or number 3, and they've done it all themselves from the training that I've given. So module 5 is Google Maps listing and optimization around your website. So get your Google stuff sorted. And then the other thing that I would do is probably, it depends how confident you are in growing this business quickly and how much you're willing to invest. I would probably recommend going to the Doers Book. So doersbook.thedoingacademy.com. Find Niall under, what's he under? I reckon he'd be under SEO, or he does SEO and AdWords. He probably is under AdWords. I hope he's under both. Anyway, Niall is great for Google AdWords. I just feel like in your space, when you've got intent-based search for someone looking for an acupuncturist in your geographical area, it makes sense for you to be showing for that. It should be, because of your industry, it should be quite cheap. But I would just, and don't abuse his time, only talk to him if you feel like you're actually willing to work with a consultant if the pricing works out. But he'll be able to do a free consult, do a quick analysis of your industry and say, hey, this is how much a click could cost you. And therefore, if we get a landing page set up well, you should be able to generate inquiries for around this price point. And so, if you're generating inquiries, or, say you're generating bookings for, say you're generating inquiries for $5, and it takes you 5 inquiries to close a person, right? So it costs you $25 to get a new client. And I'm assuming that you've got multiple appointments, and $25 for a new client is a really good way to build a business. You'd like to get some clients for free off Google SEO and Maps, but AdWords is a really predictable way to increase that volume in a really easy way. So figuring out that price point. Whereas if the inquiries, if he runs the numbers and he's like, look, I can't get you an inquiry for cheaper than $20, and it's going to cost you 5 people to close, well, you're probably getting a new customer for $100, and that kind of doesn't make sense. Maybe it does. Maybe your price points are $100 a session, and you know that it's worth doing 1 session for free because you'll have them on for 6 or something like that. Up to you. But those are probably the 3 things that I could focus on right now. All the rest of them, you'd need to have yourself up and running. So Facebook and funnel building, I would do like 3 or 4 weeks out. I would start building that, getting that ready to launch, and adding that to the mix. But you'll find that Google SEO and Maps optimization and AdWords should give you really good traction. They're my recommendations. I hope that helps. Next question is from, gotta pick up my speed. So Rebecca, yeah, so just watch the training. The biggest thing is she's like, I'm confused. I don't want to ask people for money just to get a sign up. So Rebecca, this is an email here. No money for an email, right? So the first step is a Facebook ad that gives them something for free. gives them something for free in exchange for an email address. So no cash changes hands in your lead magnet. It's a competition, it's a downloadable, it's a quiz, it's a mini training, it's a case study, it's a video, it's a something that you're giving them in exchange for an email address. That's the first step in the relationship and the best way to encourage people from Facebook to join your community. And from there, that's where we start getting strategic about what's on the next page. And we offer them, depending on your business model, we offer them a free trial or a private consult or a free quote or what else is there, mini course or a live event. There's all sorts of things that we offer on that second page. It all depends on your business model. So you'll see that as you work through the program as well. Yes, if you own a model and talent agency and want more clients coming through the funnel, really, these guys are really easy to find. So you'll be doing, there are 2 funnels. Wait, did you say models? Want more clients coming through your funnel. So you're just wanting the talent side, right? So there's one very simple funnel for that. Bring them through a lead magnet where it's, it's just think of their pain points or the desires that they're wanting to achieve. And it's that, the top 7 mistakes that models make when trying to, launch their brand, or those kinds of questions around models and talents that frustrate them, or, the reason why so many models can't book a job or things like that. So, and then give them some really great guidance, some really great info for free so that you start to be seen as the authority. There's a reciprocal value that you're building up, and they start to know, like, and trust you. And now on the next page, in your case, I would invite them into a private consult. So I would have them schedule a time to chat with you, or I'd have them leave first name, last name, email, phone. And then in your case, decide whether you want them to schedule an appointment or whether you want them to fill out an application form or send you a headshot. Like, you probably need to do some form of qualification first. A lot of my girls just say, while I'm starting, just give me first name, last name, email, phone, and I'll start to have conversations with people and start to connect with people and just get in front of as many ideal clients as I possibly can to figure out what my application form needs to say or what I actually need to do to qualify those guys. So they say, I'll talk to cold, warm, hot people, I don't mind. Up front, because I will need to figure out my market and how I'm best going to qualify them down so that I deal with the hottest people first down the track. And then the other thing about that is, and so it's really easy to obtain an email when you're solving a problem, and that's what your lead magnet should always do. The other thing in your space, I was going to say something else. Oh, really easy to find those guys on Facebook. So they're all liking, if it's in Australia, it's PMA, the Promotional Models Australia, whatever the biggest, so or liking your competitors, interested in different modeling courses or programs or other talent agencies. Like, there's so many different things that your market are interested in around their education, their profession, your competitors, brands, those kinds of things. So you can easily test those. You'll see how to do that in the Facebook training in Module 6. Tonya, her target market is pregnant women or new mums. And the ideal is they set up a plan for their finances before they finish working so they can pay me and have no stress about money when Bub arrives. What was your question? Oh, there. Oh, that was you're the budget one. Cool. So, yeah, I'd be giving away, in your case, I'd be giving away mini trainings in the middle of your value ladder, and probably templates and things like that as well, or time frames, like action plan kind of things around deadlines that all mums wish they knew before they had their first baby, those kinds of things. I'd be working around that. Melissa's question, she submitted a lead magnet. Let me have a look, Melissa. Got it? Open. 5 mistakes most business owners make when trying to grow their Instagram. Awesome. That sounds intriguing. So can you give me some feedback? Heck yeah. Opening. Got it. Cool. So same as, it wasn't Charlene's, someone else's earlier. I want a cover page for this. Okay, this is my advice. You're a big girl. I'm not saying this is my business. You would, if I were you, I would be putting a cover page on this, and then I would be having pages following your 5 points to break down some tips on how to actually achieve those 5 points. So it might be a tool they could use, and I'll also use examples. So put lots of imagery in it. So scatter images throughout your document. of examples of this in play. So it's like an actual cool playbook of Instagram. So cover page, and then the 5 steps you're going to cover, then a page for each of the steps. 1, inconsistency. Give them a few tips around that and put 3 photos of great examples on Instagram pages, like actual screenshots. Next, no branding theme. Off you go with that. Right? And show, you know, bad examples of the big X beside them, good examples of the tick beside them, those sorts of things. But the core content, the core angle is really good. Let's just give them some more content. And be a little bit more generous with what we give away. Don't worry, if you give, people will keep coming back. It's the biggest thing I learned. I was always scared at the beginning. I'd always go, oh, if I give away that though, what else have I got to sell them? And then I realized that if I just stop and think about how much value I can add, this is like 1% of all the things I could share and teach them. So don't freak out too much about that. Yes, this is live. People are in here. Well, this is live for the 4th of April. People in the future, this isn't live. Interesting. What is the best tool you use to keep you organized? Jackie, Infusionsoft, hands down. People always say, what does Infusionsoft actually do? And my lame answer, because it's just insane, I've been using Infusionsoft for 7 years now in all of my businesses, and it's insane. But my answer is normally, what does Infusionsoft not do? Okay, here's what Infusionsoft doesn't do. Landing pages. Incoming email management. Everything else it does for us. Everything else. So all of our payments go through there. Wow, it just got really dark. It's a really dark day today, and it's cold. All of our landing pages go through there. All of our, we'll just grab a blankie. All of our, sorry, not all of our landing pages. I was on a different planet. All of our incoming inquiries come in through there from ClickFunnels, and they all go into crazy, beautiful nurtures that are exactly where they're at and what they need next. Then they go into all the payment processing's done in there, and all the, the other day we figured out that because the average lifespan of a credit card now in the US is 3 months. The credit card lasts on average before fraud, before losing it, and before expiring doesn't happen in that time. But the average lifespan of one credit card is 3 months. So people are always having to email us and say, hey, like my payment bounced because I've got a new credit card. And that process, we weren't getting through to enough people, and people were having, 6 days, 7 days outstanding, and then having to get their account cancelled. And then people going, why am I cancelled? I didn't want to cancel. I just, didn't check my emails, or whatever it was. Oh, here's my credit card. I want to remain a member. So we built a really nice nurture that now has, so in Infusionsoft, we've just got a little thing that we put on people when their payment bounces, and it all happens automatically. And that then sends an email and a text on the first day. It schedules a phone call for the second day. In one of the girls' task lists, it just pops up and says, could you please call Jane today just about her bounce payment? It then 2 days later sends another email. It then another 2 days after that sends an email and a text on the final day saying, hey, we kind of do have to close your account. It is a paying membership. And we've got to make it fair for everyone. So if we don't hear from you, it will be cancelled. So that kind of 6-day process was insane about how many people, particularly putting the text messages in there, responded to those. So we went from having over 200 outstanding accounts receivables to now having something like 12 accounts receivables at any given time. Insane, right? So every single part of my business is automated through that. All of our memberships are unlocked through that. It's just gotten really dark in here. I hope you can still see me okay. Winter's set in. So I reckon Infusionsoft, my second favorite tool is Help Scout. Once you get to the point where, we're receiving about 400 emails a day, and once you get to the point of receiving 50 emails a day, you're probably from your community that need responses, you're probably ready to go. Okay, let's go beyond just a Gmail or an Outlook or any of those platforms. Help Scout allows you to do that, have incredible saved replies so that you're not literally typing the same thing 60 times a day. So really great saved replies, really great resource documents, FAQ hubs, all that kind of thing to make your support as exceptional as you possibly can. And to share it amongst multiple people so that you don't have to be in that support desk. Help Scout and Infusionsoft are my two favourite tools to keep me organised. I want to join ClickFunnels as you recommend it, but I've read blogs about their poor tech support. Is this true? No, not for me. I've been with them for 3 years now, it would be. 3 years now. No, I've never had a problem with their support. They've always responded within 24 hours. Like within one business day, easily I get a response, and they always help out. They're lovely. And they all seem to be English as a first language speakers because they're all very succinct, plenty of resources they give you to walk you through it step by step. They'll often jump into your funnels and look at stuff and like play around with it and figure out why it's not working. I haven't had any feedback from my girls that it's bad either. So no, maybe just a competitor or someone who's angry at ClickFunnels. Happens all the time. And yeah, no, not in my case. Maybe they've been having bad support lately. I mean, I haven't seen them have bad support, but maybe lately they've just relaunched. They've just changed their layout of the way that they build their pages and moved stuff around. It all still has exactly the same features, but it's moved from the left-hand side to the top. And they've made it a little bit more streamlined. But maybe as people are getting into that system and trying to figure out where stuff is, maybe there's been an influx of demand on the support desk, and they might be a little bit slow in getting back to people. But that's the only thing I can think of. I'm currently having a workshop for the public and a workshop for corporate teams. And am I diversifying myself too much? No, just focus on one to get nailed first. You're definitely not diversifying yourself too much, but I would focus on one first. I was just looking at your website then. Focus on one of these funnels first because they're very different markets and very different call to actions, very different sales processes. You're selling one-on-one compared to selling still one to a human, but probably a human resources manager or whoever it is you're dealing with in a corporate team or a general manager. I've got the hiccups. Breathe it out. So, no, you're not diversifying too much, but you're only going to build a funnel for one of those first. And once that one's humming, you're going to go back and build a funnel for the other one. I would build my funnel in something like this that's already existing where you've got two very different, not very different funnels, but quite different funnels. I would always choose the funnel that I was going to proceed with based on which one I had the most testimonials, case studies, experience in. And if that happens to be going to the public with live workshops like I do them, you're onto a winner. Bright up, light me up. I want you to be able to see me. Gosh, it's as though it's nighttime here all of a sudden. Oh, I can't bring my lights any closer. I don't want to. It's a bit weird. Anyway, sorry, can't fix the weather. Janine, my business Facebook page is a page within my personal Facebook. Cool. It always has to be. There's no other way to go about it. Will this work? Do I need to set up a business Facebook profile? No. No. So when you log on to Facebook, you always have to log in as a person through a personal profile. That's the rule. Then within a personal profile, you can be the owner of a business page, and then you can share that. You can give access to that business page, admin access to that business page to whoever you want as well. So they can log in through their own personal profiles with their admin access. Keep in mind, the ad account lives within the personal Facebook page up front. So the ad account, so I log in through Grace Lever. Okay, this probably isn't a very good explanation because my business page is called Grace Lever. Pretend my business page is called the Doing Academy, right? So I log in with Grace Lever, and then I've set up my business page. Let's say the business page is called the Doing Academy. I log in as Grace Lever. I've got my business page, the Doing Academy, and maybe I have some other executive team members that when they log in, they've also got admin access to the business page called the Doing Academy. The ad account is set up in my Grace Lever personal profile. It's linked to my personal profile. So if they go and log into their Facebook accounts, my executive team, and jump into my Facebook page, there's no way that they can see my ads or manage ads or do any of that kind of stuff. So it lives within the personal profile. You can, once it's all set up, turn it into a business ad account and give other people access to it. That took me ages to figure out. I did it ages ago and I haven't had to touch it since. But you don't need to do that until you've really scaled. You're spending a lot of money on Facebook. You need an agency to help manage it on a day-to-day basis. So upfront, all through your personal profile, but keep in mind that if you log in through someone else's personal profile, just because they've got admin access doesn't necessarily mean that they've got access to all of your ad account. But no one on the front end can see that Grace Lever is linked with the Doing Academy, if that makes sense. So no one can see, none of your customers can see which account you're logging in through to create Facebook ads for a business page. That's just the way that you have, it's just the way that you log in on the back end. So Yvonne's question is, I have an art business and I sell products and then I tutor locally. In the past, she's used it under her name. Sorry, in the past, I've used my name. I've used my name as my brand, which has worked quite well. I'm branching out into new areas and I'm creating more of an online presence. And I started to kind of use abbreviations of my name with the word art after it, with the word artist after it. Do you think it's best to stick with my name or go with more generic branding? Yvonne, yeah. Should I have more of a gallery name? It's just I'm stuck in this quandary, and because my name's a little bit hard to spell, I'm stuck or for people to understand that it's pronounced very differently to how it's spelled. So I'm stuck in this bit of a quandary and I'm struggling about moving forward on it. And mainly it seems like her tutoring business is like the bigger part of it at the moment. It's a hard one. It's a decision that only you can make, but let me give you some hints and some tips as to limitations of both. I often find a personal brand easier to build because it's around a human. And I don't think your name is unusual enough to warrant you having to abbreviate that for any reason. That's more personal preference. I don't think that will slow you down or hold you back in terms of advertising and a growth point of view. If you had like horrifically hard to spell first and last name, maybe, but not enough in your case. So a personal brand is normally easy to build because there's a human being that they can trust, compared to more of a corporate brand or more of a non-personal brand. Like, I'm not going to say generic brand because it's not generic, but you know what I mean, compared to a personal brand. However, you can't sell that, and you can't, there's an element of that where things that aren't exclusively related to you become less valuable. So if it's an art school and you're not there, there's always that something's missing element. So if there's a class and you're outsourcing that class, you know, so keep that in mind. Saleable nature of the business, not so much, and as you start to move away from different parts of the business, for example, you know, selling other people's artworks and things like that will not align as easily. I'm not saying you can't ever do that. You can't have other tutors and you can't have other art that you're moving through galleries and things like that, but it will be a less obvious next step. But it is quicker to build a personal brand in all of my experiences. It's much quicker to build a personal brand because you've got a human, you can bring your story out, people can relate to you, and people are more likely to know, like, and trust a human than they are to know, like, and trust a brand. Branding specialists would probably disagree with me, but when you don't have a huge budget up front to spend on branding specialists and kind of make that incredibly exceptional, it does make it hard and much easier as a personal brand. There's no reason why you can't start as a personal brand and transition away from that once you start getting really great momentum and build up that community. So personal brand for maybe a year or two, and then transition away from that over time. Start bringing in other tutors, do a bit of a rebrand and cut back to a YH, or, you know, using your initials or abbreviations, or a gallery name by Yvonne. You know, there's no reason why you can't start to transition away from that. It normally takes about 6 months to transition from a personal brand to a brand. So it's at the end of the day, it's your call, and you're the one that's got to sit comfortably with that decision. But there's no reason why you can't transition. And in my experience, personal brands are easier to establish. And she's also trying to find ideas about passive income stream. She's wondering about gems of information from my experiences and projects. So yeah, passive income stream is normally around teaching online. But a somewhat passive income stream for you would be to build up your tutoring school and even the face-to-face one, and delegating a lot of those teaching roles to other teachers, other tutors. So where you're not actually doing it, you're just becoming a whiz at creating the brand and marketing it. So it doesn't mean you have to move completely away from face-to-face, but if you want completely passive, then yes, it'll be around teaching art online. Next question is from Heidi. She's created a program about how to make money online. Do you think I should get a URL that has these words in it? Make cash in your sleep, quick money, internet, fast dollars online. Heck no, don't do it. Facebook will hate you with a passion. So any of those kind of get rich quick schemes, no, don't do it. And so many people will ban you, like so many different advertising platforms. Google will probably not rank you, like it doesn't rank any of that kind of stuff. So no, make sure, and it also, make cash in your sleep, quick money internet, fast dollars online. I personally don't think they've got integrity either, because I don't think any money is fast, and I don't think you make money in your sleep. Like I do now, but I think it is a bit misleading personally as well. Quick money internet, you're making money online isn't quick. It is once you start to figure it out, but it's like a hell of a lot of work, and it takes effort and thought and time and money up front to make it work. And once it does work, yes, you can make lots of money in your sleep, but I think that's personally misleading, and Google and Google and Facebook won't like it. What do you think of including doodle videos in an online program? I personally think they've gone out. I think animations are still in, but this is just personal preference if you're asking. I think they went out about 2 years ago. Animations are still in, and those kind of infographics where your eyes moving, you know, and the almost like slide packs, like kind of Prezi presentations, Prezi presentations, they're still in. But yeah, I'm not seeing doodles anymore. And personally, when I see them, I don't know what you guys think, but when I see them, I don't think they're as relevant or as exciting as they used to be. No worries, head on off when people have to go. Good, I'm glad, Casey. Catherine, she sent me a question in the portal. Our Facebook ad cost 18 cents per lead. Per lead? Per lead or per click? If you're getting 18-cent emails, you're going to be able to make a lot of money if you figure out what you need to sell to them and they want it. And the landing page converts at 77%. Awesome. So I wouldn't even right now look at your emails until you get your landing page to work. Like, to have your emails sitting there, but I would focus on those. I would get this next landing page to work. So you've got to keep refining that offer until you're solving a problem that's bad enough to them that they want to pay you money for it. Right? So that you've basically got free traffic. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. You can make money out of this if you figure out how you can solve their problems so they want to pay you for it. And that's the problem that I find so many female entrepreneurs have, which is why I'm focusing so much on this in the first 2 modules of the new Doing Academy, of just thinking people want to pay them for their knowledge, and no one wants to pay you for your knowledge. So people want to pay for a solution to their problem. So that's the biggest thing there. It's got to be all them focused, no me focused. That happens. Like you get looked after when you look after other people. It just works that way. So that would be my biggest thing now. Testing different offers on that landing page, and you can send traffic to that landing page for super cheap. Testing different offers on that, not the first landing page, the second landing page, the thank you page offer, until we nail that one. Playing around with that. So, and I can't tell you much more without knowing much more about your market. Oh, you sent in a question into the portal. Where is it? Just see if there's any more information in there. For Catherine. Not here. I'll just search by email address to see if the name's completely different to, no. Haven't got yours in here with me, Catherine. But yeah, around the, don't focus on the nurture emails right now. These mean nothing if you can't get this offer to work, because it means that the offer's wrong. If you're using one of my layouts and the look and feel's looking good, it means that this offer isn't right. It's either not congruent with this one, so the people that are coming in actually don't want this product. because they're the wrong kinds of people coming in. So make sure that your lead magnet is congruent with what you actually want to end up providing, or what your skill set can best serve people with, or how your skill set can best serve people. So it's either not congruent, or sometimes the offer's just not right. They don't get it, they don't want it, they don't want to pay for it. So you've got to keep tweaking that until you can get something that they want, need, understand, and will pay you for it, right? So that's kind of that next step. And until you start selling conversion on this page, if this isn't converting at all, basically no matter how many emails you send, it won't matter. They're still going to keep saying no. So you've got to get this to convert to some degree, to at least 15%, before I would even bother working on sending more emails there. Next question is from Nina. In your case, Nina, it's a network marketing business model. So go from a Facebook ad to a lead magnet, and then normally you can't talk about your information, your actual product or the company that you're working for. You've been working with them for 37 years, so you'll probably know all of this. You usually can't mention them on those first 2 pages. They usually have to come into play on this page, because they won't let you advertise on Facebook, and they normally won't let that be the first page that they see. But it's got to be something that's related to your industry or your market. So if you're selling Jamboree nails, make sure that you do something around at home, nail care routines or whatever that looks like. Little demonstrations or mini tutorials on that for your lead magnet. And then on the next page, it's a really obvious next step. Or if you're selling thermomixes, do something around recipes or quick, easy meals or things like that. So don't mention the brand here. But then on your thank you page offer for you will be something around the network marketing. That's when they'll first be introduced to the network marketing brand. But the biggest thing about a network marketing brand is it's got nothing to do with the product. You're in a very saturated market, so it's actually all about you. It's not like they can't go and get this product at this exact same price from someone else. They're not buying a product or service, they're buying you and your experience with it, or your background with it, or your story and the way they were able to relate to you. So you need to be the feature of this page selling a particular program, not the other way around in most cases, because there's normally hundreds, if not thousands of these people out there doing the same thing. So it's all about you and the brand. And then normally I recommend that you don't do that for life, that you package that up and you look at how you can bring in your own products or services or courses or things that align to that community, rather than solely relying on the network marketing companies to generate your income. Beautiful. Hey Liz, yeah, you can just answer your questions straight into the chat box for people that just joined me. You can absolutely add them into the chat box. And your question around, do testimonials add urgency? They don't add urgency, but they add social proof and will increase click-throughs and buy rates. But I wouldn't consider that an urgency piece. That wouldn't add urgency. Urgency is all around time, quantity, or some form of deadline, some form of limitation around what you're able to give away. Hi, Barbara. Next question is Casey's. She'd love some feedback on a course she's building online and the landing pages that go along with that. So, awesome. Just having a quick look at it here. As far as I can see it, the link that you've given me goes through to a profile of your casework. I'm assuming that that link's going to change. So yeah, I just don't think you've set up your links yet in terms of the quiz itself. So obviously make sure that you do that. The look and feel of this page isn't based on any of my templates, your first landing page. So I can't say whether this will work because I haven't tested your exact layout. So if it were me, I would recommend using my templates because I've proven that they work, and every single time my girls use them with a good offer, they work every single time. So I would be nervous about doing something that hasn't been proven. But there's no reason why you can't go and put this out to market and find out if it works, because it's a good looking page and it has certain principles, but I don't think it's got enough above the fold and it's pushing the button too low before we get to the benefits and things like that. But it's not like a horrific page. I just can't guarantee that will get you results when you're not laying out pages that look similar to mine. But there's no reason why you can't test it for $15 and find out. The thank you page has a lot more of my consistencies to it. Awesome, cool. Yeah, there's a lot more consistencies in terms of the look and feel of my layouts. In terms of setting up your secure payment section, I recommend you check out the training in the Doing Academy on, I think it's called Adding Payments to Lead Pages. You can do it yourself, but I would highly recommend that you get one of the guys that I love working with in the Philippines to do it. And they're $10 an hour. You can find them in the Doers book, doersbook.thedoingacademy.com under Anna. And Anna's team can set up this payment quite quickly on lead pages. Well, not quite quickly. Sometimes it depends on your website and how easy that is to integrate with, because it kind of uses the back end of your website a little bit. But you can set up a payment via Stripe. So Stripe is a payment portal like PayPal, but Stripe allows you to do really easy pop-up boxes, and it's free for you to set all of this up if you want to DIY. And I actually show you the steps you need to take to DIY to have that little pop-up appearing in Stripe. And I do have all the training in the portal if you want to DIY, but in my opinion, it would probably just be better use of time to get someone else to do it who's actually knows how to do a bit of techie stuff. But that's how you do it. Stripe can be integrated onto lead pages, and they have some great training on that in their help section, and I've got some in the portal as well. And I'm pretty sure you're aware the videos aren't loaded yet, but I'm sure you're on that. And then after they get access to the $37 one, you've then got an up. So yeah, I can see 37 on the first page and 47 on the next one. So I just double check that one. But you've stuck a lot closer to my flow on this third page. So I expect that to work a little bit better. The only thing is I would move, you see how at the top of all of your pages, you've got quite a bit of white space up the top there with just the logo. And the logo will add authority, but it won't make you money. So I would try and pull the content up a bit further. If you can get rid of any of that white space, I'm not sure whether you're doing a drag and drop or a template for this, but if you can get rid of any of that white space, you will raise the actual content you want them to act on higher on the page, which on a phone and on a desktop ends up converting better. So those few tips, in my opinion, should get you as close as possible to a good format before you launch it and let your market tell you what they like. And people for the Facebook seminar, PS, just to let you know, the Facebook seminar happening this Saturday, if you don't know about it, that's because you're a member, and it wasn't designed for members. It was designed as an introductory foundations kind of course. Members, the training that I'm teaching on the weekend is already inside. You've got that and more inside the program that you're currently inside the Identity Project and the Doing Academy. So it's more of a startup one this weekend, but if you've only just joined my program, then it's probably a good one for you to go to, but you can get it inside your portal anyway. So you can join me if you'd like. There's nothing stopping you. You can join me if you like on the weekend, and email us if you want the details on that. If, however, you've booked or you haven't booked, but regardless, if you've booked and you want to come to the members one, I'm doing a more advanced members one on the 6th of May. So if you want to come to the members one, that's kind of moving beyond the basics that you learn inside the program. It's kind of going advanced, and it's an intensive, and it's a 4-hour online workshop completely live. So that's on the 6th of May, 5th American time. And that you guys are going to find out about that in your inboxes next week. So some of our girls have been emailing us and saying, hey, I booked in for the one happening this weekend, and I've actually I'm not a beginner. I want to learn the next level. So can you move my tickets? We've been moving some members' tickets to the 6th of May, but all the details will be coming out for the members one next week, which you'll really enjoy. It's going to be insane, but it's actually running in May. Those that are going this weekend, you'll get another email about all of the details this afternoon, I believe, or this evening, my time, in the next 12 hours. You'll get a few more details about that, but you should have received all the details already, and you should have received a link as well to 2 little mini trainings. They're like 8 minutes each of a couple of things I want you to do. I've got the hiccup, sorry. I want you to do before the workshop. You don't have to do it, but you'll just get more value out of the workshop if you do it. So check your confirmation email. If you haven't received it, just let us know at ask@thedoingacademy.com. and we'll resend it for you. That just has all the details you need to know before the webinar. But if you've received the welcome email, then you've got them all in there. We offer a number of health and beauty services. Is it better to concentrate on one service when doing a funnel? Normally. It depends on how different the services are. Like I've got some girls who run a hair and beauty salon. 2 very different products, hair and beauty, 2 very different funnels, 2 very different lead magnets, 2 very different markets. So they are 2 funnels. But if it's like, I don't know, if it's quite closely aligned niches within a beauty space, then no, probably just 1 funnel. But if we're talking health and beauty, that sounds like there could be some quite different niches in there. So yes, 2 funnels. Sorry again if you can't see me, the sun is not wanting to come out today and I can't make this room any lighter. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights on me and it's still dark. It feels like nighttime right now. So Amy's having a hard time figuring out a topic for her presentation. It's either going to be boosting confidence or an ultimate wedding workshop. In terms of my knowledge of the niche, if you're talking about, they seem to be very different, but if you're talking to brides who are preparing for a wedding, your workshop should always align to the core product or service that you actually want to be able to help them with. If it's a lead generation workshop. So if it's a lead generation workshop, we are doing this as a first foot in the door for people to be able to find out some information and then be able to take a next step with you, then it's like my workshops, right? So you need to be hosting those around the topic that relates best to your product or service. The dog's out again. Whoops. The other one is if you're actually doing paid workshops where they're paying quite a large amount to come to that workshop, like hundreds of dollars to come to the workshop, and it's a 2-day thing where they're learning. So it's not a lead generation workshop, it's actually the workshop is the product. Then you need to choose whichever one your market aligns best with. But figure out if it's lead gen or not. If it's lead gen, then first come from the point of view of how you can help them and how you can serve them and what they're after and how closely that links with your end product, and try and make this first workshop the bridge between the 2. In my experience with brides, the things that the biggest pain points and problems are stress, overwhelm, and not knowing anything but having to get it perfect first time and only time. So it's the stress and overwhelm of the amount of things that they now have to do and the amount of time they have to do it, and then it's also the having no idea of contacts or suppliers and just being completely new to this and needing to know the step-by-steps and getting the behind the scenes and the insiders knowledge usually works best in those spaces. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. I'm out of time, but I'm going to answer 4 more questions. To get access to our templates, Melanie, email us, ask@thedoingacademy.com. Renee, cool. Wanting some feedback on her landing page. Cool. So it's looking professional. I'm just going to click here. First name, last name, email, phone, and choose your date. Cool. Okay, so I would start at the top with a big headline that defines what it is that they're going to achieve. So I would have a big headline. Have one more look at my landing pages. So my live event landing page, don't try and buy a ticket because I haven't got any scheduled at the moment, but my live event landing page is doing days with an S dot. So doingdays.gracelever.com / Sydney-doing-days. So gracelever.com, so doingdays.gracelever.com / Sydney-doing-days. That link, go there and have a look at that. See how I've got a profound statement at the top that kind of hits that point before they have to start reading in detail. And I would make your logo and your detail, like that brand at the top, quite a bit smaller. I would probably too, I don't actually know what that image is in the background. So I wonder if the image in the background could be a little bit clearer so it relates to what you've got, either you or it relates to the, I know, I'm almost finished. I know, I've got another meeting. I'm getting in trouble. You look nice. Got a dance from my husband outside my window. I love him. He's got a nice red jacket on today. And then the only other thing is, I reckon the fact that the event location is to be advised, bit of a problem now, because particularly in location, that was all people basically cared about, particularly when you're talking capital cities, Sydney and Melbourne. That would like make or break an event, the location. So if it's TBC, you will have people non-committing. And then the only other thing you'll see in my live event funnel, if you just go through the process, just go through the first 2 pages, you'll see that I always capture an email address first, and on the next page, I capture the details to confirm the event. So I would go email address and choose your city, and then onto the next page to capture anything more. Because in a live event funnel, my likable lady emails were critical. A lot of people were interested but had to go and check diaries, had to go and confirm schedules, had to go and see if husband was home to look after the kids, had to go and, like, there's all sorts of things that had to happen before they actually finalised their ticket. So I found that a lot of people would put their email in but wouldn't put the full details in that first time round. 30% would go through and lock in, or 34% would go and finalise their ticket. Once they give me an email, they finalise their ticket. But another sort of 20% just needed to go and quickly check stuff first. So I would lose them, and if I ignored them, they wouldn't come back. So that's where my likable lady emails, those 5 emails, because I just got the email address, I was able to get more emails and then turn those guys into full registrations down the track. So keep that in mind. First page should only capture usually email address. Make those few tweaks. And I've always found a video in the above the fold, like there's nothing on my page is an accident. And when I don't have a video, I don't sell. So I've always found a video to explain the concept works really well as well. Hi. Oh, hi, Sasha. Okay, I think we're almost at the end. I've really got to go. I'm getting in trouble for not coming to this meeting. Power Editor. To find Power Editor, go to a Google Chrome browser and just search for Facebook Power Editor. The first listing will come up. It'll be Facebook's help desk, and there's a big link at the top that takes you to Power Editor. And that's how you get into Power Editor. Or it's in the top drop down on the left. When you click on Ads Manager, normally you go in and there's 3 little lines up the top, which is the menu. You click up there and you can find Power Editor through the drop down menu. Cool. And then I think all of the answers have come in the last 15 minutes. So let me just have a quick look. Yeah. Are you using Facebook Messenger for your communications yet, such as ManyChat? Yes. So we're having I'm doing training together for that at the moment, pulling training together for that at the moment. And we launched that just last week. So yes, we've been getting on that in a big way lately. What is best for email management? My favorite thing is Help Scout. Help Scout. Beck from Radelaide. Just wanted to let you know this is super cool to have playing while I'm doing some filming and paperwork in the office this morning. I pause every now and then to watch because you're talking about something that's especially relevant to me. Good one. I like that. Like now, accounts receivables. Love it. Hey, because you're doing your accounts receivables right now, are you? Bit of paperwork, bit of filing. Awesome. One second, one last thing. I'm just trying to see if there's any more questions. So in terms of what is the name of the code we put on the thank you page to track conversions, if you're talking about Facebook, jump into the Facebook training because it's your Facebook pixel. And in the first, when we get to the bit where I start screen sharing and I show you how to set up your Facebook pixel, it's in there. So you can skip ahead until you get to the Facebook pixel bit when I first start sharing my screen. As soon as I start sharing, I start talking about the Facebook pixel and how to get that and put it on your landing pages. So you definitely, that's the biggest thing. If your ads aren't converting in almost 29 cases out of 30, I don't know why I picked that number, 97 cases out of 100, it's because people haven't put the pixel on their pages and they go, oh, my Facebook ad's not working. And I say, you got your pixel? No. And a lot of the time I say, you're doing a website conversions ad? No. Well, I know that won't work. It's a good way to waste money. Tonya, doersbook.thedoingacademy.com for all of my contacts. Doersbook.thedoingacademy.com. Lee, a free vet advice night. Cool. So she's got an online free vet advice night and have a lot of people that utilize it, but no one uses the console at any other day or night, time of day or night. How can I test a price point for the vet consult? Is this an online one or a face-to-face one? Regardless, it's all about building the funnel and letting them tell you. So have you got a funnel? Have you got a Facebook ad that's pushing people through to a lead magnet where you're giving some great information, and it's then pushing them through to a thank you page offer where they can book in their first consult for their next checkup, their next whatever it is. And I would also probably be testing Facebook ads for emergency related stuff, but probably not because it's very hard to find those people. But I would do for your next checkup related stuff, I would be pushing people to a lead magnet where you're giving away stuff about and make it relevant. If you're wanting to find people who are ready for the next checkup, or have problems with their dog's nutrition, or have, whatever it is, make the lead magnet completely relate to that and be a first step. The second step being to book in, I think yours is the online one, being to book in an online vet chat where you can work out nutrition for the dog, you can work out training behaviors or whatever it is that you're able to help with online. I don't know how you serve people online. If it's face-to-face, I'm assuming you're charging a lot more than that. I think yours is an online version. Okay, I've really got to go. How much is too much in terms of emails? Is 5 too many? No. Sorry, but it's not. 5's only just enough. If you think that every single person reads every single email you send, you're going to be quite surprised. Email inboxes are far too flooded. People do not read every email they send. Of your 5 emails, they may read, they will hopefully read 1, they may read 2, hot people will read 3. But that's why there are 5 touch points, so that A, you can continue to deal with different objections, but B, because of frequency. I've had people before say, I can really only send 1 email a fortnight to my community and I'll just never talk to them again. Apart from that, because I feel like I'm spamming, I say, okay, that's fine, but expect to be forgotten, because people will read like 1 in 3 emails that you send. So they won't hear from you for 6 weeks and they'll think you don't care. So that's why there are the 5 emails. And only tell me that it doesn't work when you've done it yourself. Well, when you've written 5 good emails and followed my flow, because I had someone the other day saying this, even before I started doing daily emails, I was doing a daily email series to certain parts of certain segments of my database, and I was like, nah, not doing it. No way people want emails from me daily. That's too much, blah, blah. And then we went through and looked at the value that I was going to be giving in the emails, and I talked to someone who was emailing daily and making a heck of a lot of money out of the way that they were doing it. And they said, until you've tried it, you can't judge it, right? If someone else, and if everyone else who's emailing daily in this particular way is adding value and making money, and you've never done it, and I was doing the same thing that some people do to me in my community, where they say, I know what you're saying, but I don't want to do this because I want to do it my way. And I say, that's okay, but I've tested it and I've proven it works. You know what I mean? And it's so frustrating. You'd have the same things in your market where people say, that's great, but I'm going to go it another way. And you can't help them when they do that. So it's in the same way that I learned that with email marketing. Until I've done it and tested it with 5 emails a day. So with 5 emails a day, don't do 5 emails a day. With daily emails, when I turned, particularly my likable ladies, when I turned those to daily, conversion rates soared compared to doing it. I was doing it every 3rd day because I was like, I don't want to pester them, but people ended up only reading an email like once every 2 to 3 weeks, and you've forgotten. People are way too busy to care. Not an emergency service. Awesome. Beautiful. Well, yeah, you need to go through the lead magnet then, Lee. Beautiful. Cool. Just email me, Karen. I think we've got a little bit going on because I'm going to America next week as well, but I've got 2 more trips to America before the end of this month. But yeah, just email our inbox and the girls will be able to hook you up with that as well. Cool. Okay, I think I've answered the bulk of the questions. If they didn't get answered, make sure you join me earlier in office hours next week and we'll be able to help with that as well. I hope that's helped, guys. I've got to go and run to a meeting because I'm 15 minutes late. I hope that's been helpful. Carry on, hustle. Most of these answers you'll find inside the Doing Academy or the Identity Project, obviously, is where we get really super advanced and you've got everything you'll need to know. And then in terms of any other questions, if anything else pops up midweek, always check out answers.thedoingacademy.com. Answers.thedoingacademy.com. Every question I've ever answered in any of my online trainings or any of my online coaching calls, anything, all the answers are in there. So, and you can search for things. So just type in keywords, try and search for the question that you're looking for. And I'm pretty sure that out of 3,000 questions plus, I've probably already answered it and it's in there. So feel free to go and get support from there as well to hear my 2 cents worth. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me. I've already accidentally cancelled this webinar. No, I'm still here. Good. And I will talk to you soon. You are welcome, guys. You are welcome. Bye. Thanks. You're very lovely. You are welcome. Talk soon. See ya.